guys, I'm Shay.
I'm Sam.
And today we will be talking about the lovely Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas.
Oh, yes.
So, with that being said, me and my sister have both now read Queen of Shadows because we've kind of become obsessed with this entire series.
Since our very first book discussion video.
For wonderful, great reasons, because this is an amazing series, for sure. Although, I would say this isn't my favorite out of all of them, I think.
What's your favorite?
I don't know. Non-spoilery. What did you think of this book?
It was epic. I was on the edge of my seat. I couldn't put it down. It was so pretty. I just kept staring at the cover and the back of the book. If you took all the words away,
Is the dragon dress
just as gorgeous as the cover is. This is my favorite cover. Let's just talk about the cover. This is my favorite cover of all of the books.
It's not mine, though. I think she looks too
Hippie.
hippie, like...
As in hips.
As in, yeah, like, she's not... I don't know if it's because she's, like, becoming more of a woman, and so she's getting more of a shape, or what, but I think it's just, like,
Drawn
also, like, the angle.
incorrectly?
I think it's just, like, the angle that she's at, maybe, is what's bothering me. I don't know. Anyway,
Could be it. But
cover's
yes.
beautiful.
Oh, yes. And the back is just as beautiful.
Yes.
Let's
Sarah
do
J.
that.
Maas posted a picture of the back of the book without all the words so you can actually see the dress. So we will post that right around here now. Beautiful! So pretty! I really, really like this book. I think I read it over the course of like 2 days, which is actually pretty good for like a 650-page book.
Yeah. Didn't take me long either.
I really liked the way it ended, especially because it wasn't like cliffhanger-y,
Yeah.
but it wasn't so resolved that the next two books won't really make any sense.
It was left open.
Yeah, it was left open, but it was still satisfying. And I really liked the character development throughout this book, and I just had a problem with one, like, character. But this being the non-spoilery part, I'm not going to mention it yet. As always, the writing was amazing, and I think that's my favorite part about the books. I mean, I love the fantasy, and I love like the assassin kind of action-y part of it, but I think my favorite part is just the writing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to...
It's just awesomely written.
Yeah, I don't think... And I love how there's just like so many really like awesome, cool female characters.
We're going to say awesome a lot, I think.
Probably right. I love how there's so many just really great female characters.
That just doesn't say it like awesome does.
You're right. I think that there were just so many awesome female characters.
Yes.
I mean, I think all of them, like none of them were just these like little prissy women. They were all really awesome. I mean, even like Caltaine, who you hate in the first book because she's kind of like the snobby, beautiful, jealous, I get the prince, no one else can have him kind of girl. Like in this one, she's like super
Well, and then at the end, you're kind of
awesome.
her. Awesome.
Okay, that's it for the non-spoilery. Let's get into some discussions here because we need to have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Let's start off.
Manon.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, is it people are saying Manon?
I don't like Manon better.
I think Manon sounds better, and I know somebody whose name is Manon, and it's pronounced Manon.
There you go.
So it's Manon. Well,
Manon.
I mean, I guess the only person that can really say how it's pronounced is the author.
So Sarah, how is it pronounced? Please let us know.
Yeah, and not that you're going to see this, but in case, there's a tiny little chance that you might stumble across it in the YouTube's webverse.
Yes. I really liked Manon, even though she's supposed to be a bad guy girl.
This is the kind of book, though, where it's like, I feel like you can like everybody.
Yes.
For their roles.
Yes. Well, I think that in the future, she is going to team up with Aelin.
I
And
hope.
at least some of the witches will go with her, even if not all of them. But at least the 13, I think, will be against Duke Parrington in a future book. I hope, anyway, because that's kind of, they had this moment during the whole fighting, and Aelin saves Manon, and then Manon basically saves Dorian. She like writes that he's still there, so Aelin does not kill him.
Yeah. I really liked that.
They kind of had like a connection.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that
Really?
Manon and Aelin fought. Like, I was hoping that there would be some time in these books that's not like the big end war.
Right.
Where they would like meet.
Yes.
And it
was fantastic.
And it was epic. It was the coolest fight scene ever. I compare it to the warehouse scene in Crown of Midnight, which was like my favorite book of the entire series. I think this is like a close second. Like the Man and Aelin showdown is like a close second. I really liked it. And I really liked, the fact that Aelin kind of showed some mercy, and I don't know, it was just really cool. And I really hope that the two like team up in the end, because I think that'd be the coolest thing ever.
Yes. That'd be awesome. Okay. Oh, that is again awesome.
Awesome. I wanted to mention the chapters where Dorian was like fighting with the demon. Oh my gosh, that was like intense and so sad and like depressing. Like
he just slipped further and further away.
Yeah, you could just see it happening, and I liked that these chapters were like a page or not even like a page long. It added, I think, to the drama instead of making it like a super long.
What's happening next?
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah. And then there was Chaol.
I wasn't a big fan of Chaol in this one. I feel like
Chaol.
Yeah,
the
Chaol.
lettuce.
I feel like he wasn't himself in this one.
He was a different character, I think, than he was in the first book with Celaena.
But then again, I feel like he's always kind of been... I've never really been able to pinpoint his personality, I think. So I think, I don't know, he was just weird in this book.
He was very depressed and
just moody. He was very moody. Yeah. And then the whole thing with Nezrin, I feel like she was inserted into this book as like
she was just thrown in
as somebody for him to love. I think she was just there for Chaol, and I think I would have liked it better if he didn't have anybody in this one. Like if he would just figured out how to be okay being single, or how to just move on from Aelin, because I feel like their whole relationship kind of didn't resolve. I don't know, and I didn't really like her as a character that much.
I mean, she was
almost like an afterthought to Lysandra, almost like she was going to be another female character that was going to become good friends with Aelin, but I feel like that's Lysandra's role.
I think they were trying to, with the Aelin and Nesrin, I think they were trying to give Aelin somebody, like, Lysandra's like the pretty side of
but
Aelin.
She's still pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. And Nesrin's the hard, fighty side of Aelin.
Yeah. So then let's talk about Lysandra now, because she turned out to be one of my favorite characters ever.
She was pretty awesome.
My favorite My favorite thing ever was how Aedion was mentioned ghost leopards, being just these awful nuisances in his old village or in somewhere, and then I completely forgot about that until the end of the book, when it's the epic battle and Aedion and Rowan are facing the Valid army in the sewers,
being defeated.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you hear this commotion coming from the back of the army, and then all of a sudden this giant ghost leopard is tearing through.
Awesome.
And it was Lysandra, and I was so happy. I just saw that part, and
awesome.
I was just yes! It was so cool. I love when you can take a character that's meant to be, some just dumb little prissy character, and you turn her into this awesome freaking thing. And that's what I love about this book, is that I feel like with every female character, that's what Sarah J. Maas does.
There's more to them than pretty faces.
Yeah. They actually, they're not just these shallow, girly girls. They're freaking awesome. Awesome. Okay. Also, the whole thing with Lysandra, how I think it was cool that she was the one to kill Arobynn, because it kind of
gave her closure.
Yeah, and not only that, I feel like a lot of books would just make the main hero do everything.
Yeah.
Because they're the hero and so they're supposed to. But I like the fact that Lysandra was the one to do it, because that just made her even more awesome.
Yes. And that he was actually dead.
I know, because at first I was like, oh, she's going to do it. Something's going to happen to where either she's going to get killed because Arobynn will know what's up, or I don't know, or she's going to betray Aelin or something.
I was really hoping that it wasn't going to be betrayal on Lysandra's part, because I was really liking her and I didn't want to hate her. It was just so awesome.
Awesome.
The way they did that, and then how Aelin had set the whole thing up to take the whole, like, property from...
Oh, yeah, how she pretended to be Selene again?
Clarice. From Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
And I just thought that part was so great because Clarice is this awful person.
She's not awesome.
No, she's not awesome.
She's awful.
Yeah, she took it away.
She gave her, like, a few coins, which was really funny.
Yeah.
I think that was funnier than, like, not giving her anything. Oh, and I love that Aelin paid off Lysandra's debt.
And the little girls.
Yes, and the little girls. I figured she was going to do it, but I thought she was going to do it a lot sooner than she did. But I liked that.
Yeah.
And
then still had the money left over for this big army she has to amass.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
And that was, like, the plan the whole time.
Yeah, and I think I was really impressed with that, because I feel like it was, like, the whole thing with that, with the ring, the fake ring.
Yes.
When Erebin first put that black ring on her finger, I totally knew that was going to happen. As soon as he...
It had to.
Yeah,
I mean,
as soon as he took it off of the dead guy's hand, or as soon as he cut off the guy's finger and then killed him, and put it in his pocket, I was like, he's going to use that on Aelin. I know it.
Yes.
Just wait. And then he did.
And I was reading going, no. And then,
see, and I was thinking the same thing, but then as soon as he did it, I was like, it's got to be fake. Either it's got to be fake, or she somehow is able to, like, not be affected by it. And then so I was waiting, like, the entire...
I was thinking somehow it was the latter, where she just wasn't going to be affected. Like, because she had defeated demons already, that it was gonna, like, just not work.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking,
I wasn't
too.
thinking...
I didn't even think about, like, maybe it was a fake. I was thinking, like, she was able to not be affected by it. But I thought that was pretty great. And it just goes to show you what kind of a sleazeball Erebin is. Yeah. Because, I mean, you already don't like him, but then it's like...
He planned this whole thing, like, on purpose.
He's just gross.
But it also goes to show Aelin, I mean, she had been thinking about this her whole boat ride over. Mm-hmm. And has everything thought out. Yes. And she's, what, 19 years old?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm 29 years old, and there's no way I'd think of half of this.
I wouldn't think of, like, even a little bit of it.
Not an assassin, either. Wouldn't mind the clothes.
Seriously, that dragon dress?
Yes.
To die for.
Can we just re-enter the picture right here?
But also, not just the dress. I just love the idea of, like, the leather assassins outfits and the cloaks with the hoods up over their faces. It's just so, like, intimidating and, like, just, like, awesome. And it makes me wish that kind of thing was, like, a thing, like, now.
Why can't we wear cloaks?
And not cloaks like they do in, like, Lord of the Rings. Because those are kind of, I mean, they're cool, but they're not, like, intimidating, like, really, like, cool looking. I mean, they're just fantasy looking. But these ones are, like, now I'm gonna go kill a bad guy with a knife.
Yeah, it's like, look at
this. It's not like I'm gonna go take a ring to Mordor. I'm gonna, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna put on this cloak and scale buildings and jump across rooftops and kill bad guys. Like,
so
there's, like,
amazing.
different kinds of cloaks.
Oh, Sam. I saw quite a few posts on Tumblr of people that had read this book before I read it. And it made me think that Sam was coming back in this book, like he hadn't really died. Because I think I missed the whole part where Aelin saw him all battered and bruised and dead. I mean, I know that she, like, saw him dead, but I think in my brain it didn't click that he was actually dead and he was going to come back in this book and there was going to be a problem
because of Rowan. That would have been really bad.
Awkward.
That'd be like, what do you do?
Because he's mentioned quite a bit in this book. I think that I was assuming or thinking that he was
in it.
He was in the book, not just being thought about. Yeah. So that was a little bit confusing until they got to, like, a part where she delivered the soldier with the demon in him, and they, like, placed him on the same table that Sam was placed on. Then I was like, oh, okay, he's not coming back.
Yeah. What about Elid? Is that how you thought, or is that how you pronounced it?
I pronounced it Elid.
Elid. I kind of went back and forth, I think, because I couldn't figure out which one it is. But what did you think of that whole part of the story?
I I liked that they added her in because she was in Aylin's childhood.
Mm-hmm.
They like grew up together.
Yeah, I like how they're like connecting all the characters.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Everything with the witches and like all of like that whole part of the story and the wyverns and everything. When they were like trying to make the little like half Valg, half witch babies, that was really
that was creepy.
That was so creepy.
Yes, it was.
And like
describing the little
Yeah, when
witches writhing on the tables, and I was like, bleh.
Yeah, it was really gross, and that's why I was really happy at the end when Kaltain just like obliterated everything with her shadow fire. That was so cool. I loved Kaltain. I didn't think that I would like her so much, but she was just so like
awesome,
just like stoic and like just taking everybody's crap because
she beat the demon inside of her,
but
was still like acting as if she hadn't.
Yeah, and she was just waiting
the right moment.
Yeah, so she could just like take out like a big chunk of everything that Duke Parrington's been doing.
And I love how, was it Manon that she figured it out? She asked Kaltain.
Yeah, because Kaltain started out, was actually talking to her.
Yeah, when did you beat it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And awesome. Okay, let's just talk about how epic the end battle was.
Oh gosh.
I loved how she like Sarah J. Maas was switching between the different like point of views so quickly.
Yes.
Like Aelin, and then all of a sudden you're down where Rowan and Aedion are, and then you're like off where like Kaltain is, and just like all this stuff was like happening so fast. And then at the end of each like chapter before they switched, it was like the ending was so like, oh my gosh, that person's gonna die, oh my gosh, that person's gonna die, that person's gonna die, because like it was the whole thing with Chaol, and he was facing the king, and then it was like, and then the pain came or whatever, and then it switches over to Aelin, and then it's like, and then she got stabbed, and then it switches over to Rowan and Aedion.
Oh yeah,
and then the Valg army is standing in front of them, and so you're like, they're all gonna die. They're all going to die.
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
The other two are just
screw Aelin, screw Rowan, screw everybody, because they're all just gonna die. But luckily that wasn't the case.
And Aelin is like, she thinks of everything, because she thought to put the eye of Elena in Chaol's pocket,
which was like brilliant. I mean, he still got hurt, but
he lived.
Yeah.
He's paralyzed, but he lived.
But who cares? You don't need to walk. You have Nezran. But yeah, so like super duper epic ending. I love the fact that Aelin and Dorian like joined forces to kill the king. And like and the king. That was what I was gonna get. That's what I was getting at.
Yes, the king.
I kind of liked that he kind of had a bit of like a redemption at the end.
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked that he wasn't always a bad guy. It was the demon that was in him that was doing all this.
Yes.
And so it's like at the end suddenly he's like himself again, and he's realizing everything that he did, like under the influence of this Valg Prince King. But then he says that the like actual like Valg King is in Duke Parrington, and I don't believe that, because he doesn't seem like he's been evil enough throughout the entire thing, or like he hasn't been important enough, I feel like. So I think that maybe the king was either lying or he didn't know, and I think that the Valg King is actually in somebody else. Maybe. I was watching Kat's review discussion for this book. She had a really good idea, was that maybe the Valg King is actually in either the Queen or the King's other son. Because they haven't really been that prominent of characters, and something like that I could see that happening more likely than it having been Duke Parrington.
My problem with him being in the son is that the king has had this ring and a demon prince inside of him, like, before the young prince was even born.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't they just awaken the Valg King, like, more recently?
I could see
It'd be
more
cool if it was in the
Queen.
Queen. It'd be really cool if the Valg King was in the Queen. That'd be really rad.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because that would mean that the Queen was in charge this whole time.
Yeah, and that would be a good plot.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
That would be
awesome. I was going to mention, though, that Astrid, I really like her backstory. Or, like, when she mentioned the whole thing about her getting pregnant and then losing her baby. I thought that was really cool.
Yes.
Because you don't, like, really know anything about any of them other than Manon.
It gives her more of a personality other than you're
they're all
a witch.
Yeah, they're all just
you're
mean.
meant to kill people.
Yeah. I think that out of everybody in this whole book, Manon has had the most character development, just in this one book.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it could have to do with Elide girl. I really think that something's going to happen to where they're going to end up working
on the same
with
side.
Aelin. Yeah, that makes me happy because
Yes.
I kind of want. I mean, I like that she's a bad guy. She's a really good bad guy.
Yes,
But I feel like she's not a bad guy in the sense that
she has
she's
a
just
little heart.
She's just loyal to whoever is using her at the time. Like right now, it's Duke Parrington is using them.
Yes,
But I mean, she would have.
but I think
fought for
she's.
Aelin.
I
if
think
Aelin
she's
was using them.
realizing though that Duke Parrington isn't a good
He's a
guy
poop face.
to. Yeah, he's not somebody that she should be allying herself with. Because she's, I mean,
Well, yeah,
I guess
because
she's
he's-
not really. She's just working with him.
Because he's using the witches to make nasty babies.
and he's realized, or she's realized that he's not somebody that she really wants to work with.
Yeah.
But she's kind of tied.
Yeah, because of her
Because of her grandmother.
Yeah, who's a jerk. Like she should care more about the fact that they're like torturing the witches.
With demons.
Boop.
5 out of 5.
I gave it actually a 4 out of 5 because of the whole thing with Kale. I mean, like I initially
just
gave
ignored
it.
him.
I initially gave it a 5 out of 5, but then I thought about it and I was like, the whole thing with Kale kind of bugs me, so I'm gonna take off a star. But it was still amazing. It was still awesome.
Awesome.
I actually almost think it would have been better if he would have died at the end of this book. Just because it would have been more.
It'll be interesting to see how
Epic.
he is used in future books, since Sarah J. Maas obviously didn't want him to die.
But she also doesn't want him with Aelin.
Yeah. So, I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you next time. Yeah, that's it. So, bye!
Bye!